Oh my god, this is so good. So good. This is yuzu cider from 7-Eleven. 100 yen. Really good. You guys doing alright? Long time no see. I know. I'm just trying to ease my way back into this channel. It's been difficult for me to come over here. It's been also almost a year since I uploaded something on this channel, and you know, a lot has happened. You know, a lot has happened since the last time I talked to you guys. I just want to apologize for not coming over here. This is my baby, this channel. I love it dearly, and I do have other channels that I'm up on a lot, you know, for work and what have you, but this is my channel. This is what I can consider my home, my church, if you will. And I have to apologize for not coming over here more sooner to let you guys know what was going on. But it's kind of tough. It was kind of tough. A couple of years ago, I started getting this really aggressive heckler on YouTube. He was commenting on all of my channels. He was hitting every channel I got up, and he just started saying like really nasty things. Now normally I don't really pay attention to them. I just delete them. It's easier to just delete them, you know, get them out of the way. And plus you can't really see these people because you don't know who they are, you don't know where they are. And in some cases I'll click onto their icon and see where they're at, you know, where they're from, and why they're bothering me. Maybe they hate LA, or maybe they hate what I'm doing here in Japan. But this guy, he really had it out for me. He was saying stuff like, there's no way that you can enjoy life in Japan that much. You're a liar, this and that. And so I reached out to a couple of other vloggers in the J-vlogging community. Scott, for one, because I heard that he was getting the same type of abuse from this certain individual. And so Scott was telling me that, yeah, he's been on me for a couple of weeks now, and this and that. And so I'm kind of getting tired of this dude. And I click onto his icon, and I find his information on his Google channel, right? And it shows that he is in Kyushu, where I'm at. As a matter of fact, as I dig even further, he's a couple of towns away from me. Now, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you just wished you could confront one of these hecklers, haters? And I had that opportunity, and so I started digging, and then I let him know I know where he's at. I said, hey dude, I know where your town is at. I've been there a couple of times. You got some really nice eateries there, especially the udon. So to let him know that I know where he's at. So cease with the abuse, right? Well, he says, well, you know, yeah, I know that you're not too far away from me either. And then he starts making comments about my ride. And he says, if you're not careful, I'm gonna put your FJ on flats or something like that. And I'm like, oh shit. And he's like up the street. So I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not having this. I go look for the dude, okay? So, as you know, the gaijin community isn't very big down here in the South. So I started reaching out to people. Do you know this dude? Do you know this dude? He called himself the redneck ninja or something like that. That was his YouTube channel thing, right? And then so I asked some dudes, you know, to network out and see if we can find this dude. And they did find him, and they told me where he was at. Next day, I take off from work. I go down to his town. I'm looking for dude. The reason why is because if I know where he's at, he may know where I'm at. I got Minako and I got Roman here, you know. What happens if all of a sudden he rolls up and does something stupid, right? So I'm not fearing for myself. I'm thinking about my family. I go look for dude. And I find the school that he's working at, or was working at one point, they told me that he's no longer there. I said, do you know how I can find him? And they said, well, why do you want to find him? I said, well, this is what happened. And I told them what happened. They said, well, you need to do what you need to do and file a complaint, because that's not something that a sane person would do or say. And I said, you know what, you're right. So I go to the police office, I go to the Koban nearby, and I file a complaint. Got his name and everything, right? I come home, I receive a telephone call from one of my friends, and they're like, we found his Facebook, we know where he's at, we know where he lives. And Tino, you know this dude. I'm like, what are you talking about? When we used to work out at the gym, he would come by once in a while. It's so-and-so. And I'm like, it's so-and-so? It's so-and-so. I know so-and-so. He says, yeah. What is he talking shit for? Why is he like that for? And he says, I don't know. I know where that fool lives too. And then he says, don't go over there. You don't want to go over there. I'm like, why? Just look at his Facebook page. I go onto his Facebook. I know this guy, right? Well, not on a personal level, but I met him a couple of times. His wife is pretty social with my wife. So I find his Facebook channel. His pastor from where he's from, down south in the States, talking shit about him. He has friends, neighbors talking shit about him. See, dude, he was suffering from depression for a number of years, and he let himself go. He had gotten so heavy that he could no longer leave the house. He lost his job, he's unemployed, he's at home, and I went through so many emotions at that time. One, I hated the fact that I went hunting for this dude because I was looking to do him in, okay? I was fuming. You have no idea how angry I was. And when I found him, I was going to confront him, but not only that, I was looking to hurt the dude. Okay? And the reason for that is because I was afraid for Minalco and Roman. Okay, so you see where I'm coming from. And the intent was there, and I hated that side of me. I hated it. I remember just looking for him, and I just couldn't get him out of my head, and couldn't wait until I had my hands around his neck. And I hated that part so bad that it really did me in when I actually found this dude on social media, and I saw a picture of him, and I heard all these stories about his, some of his neighbors were friends of mine or students, and they would tell me, yeah, he just walks the neighborhood, he sits down on a park bench and he talks to himself and this and that, and I'm like, oh man, he got so depressed, he ate himself into a state where he is no longer able to leave the home or leave his home. After that, I felt so bad. I wanted to find him and give him a hug, but I couldn't get over the fact that I was willing to hurt this person physically because I thought I was, and my family, I thought I was, defending my family or protecting them in a way. But how do you get to the point? How do you get to the point where you get so miserable that you lash out at people online? I couldn't understand that. Okay, see, I'm a 60s baby. I'm not into this internet thing. It's still new to me. And I couldn't understand how you could say something like that to someone online. And it did me in. I just got really tired of doing the vlogging thing, putting myself out there for people to lash out at me. And it turned me away from this channel. Now I know that me leaving for a bit, my hiatus, so to speak, was necessary. But now that I have been able to deal with some things that were going on inside of me at that particular time, I'm over that, and I can honestly say that I'm ready to come back and start talking to you guys again. But what I want to know from you guys, do you have any similar type of situations? And if you were me at that particular time, would you have done what I did? But I know it's not an easy thing to do for people to go on social media and put themselves out there like this and have to deal with people who are just not kind in the words that they speak online. I don't know why people do that, but they do. Say bad things about people who put themselves out here like this. But then again, hey, we do it. We put ourselves out there. We put ourselves in a situation for people to comment and make statements like that, and that's all right. It's harmless. But when it gets to a point where you have an opportunity to find the people, or you confront these people who do say these things to you, what do you do in those type of situations? I know what to do now. Just ignore it. But I felt that this type of situation was one not to be ignored. Okay, because I felt, again, my family may or may not have been in danger, and I just didn't want to risk it. But it's over with. It's in the past. It's done, and I'm really looking forward to coming back over here and sharing my life with you again. And I miss you guys, and I'm glad that you're still around to watch the videos. The numbers of subscribers have dropped, I've noticed. We gotta remedy that, you know what I'm saying? Share it, tell them I'm back. Hey, Tino, that dude over there in Japan from SoCal, he's back. He's coming back. I'll talk to you guys real soon. And I love you always. I'll see you in the comment section. All right? Good night. Bye.